On the backside of the exercises, actually, as St. Ignatius was sort of developing these, one of the practices that he also developed was a prayer of examen. Mm-hmm. And I would say, in terms of all the contemplative prayer practices, that one sort of resonates maybe most deeply with my temperament, or I have a real strong affinity towards it. And Ignatius, I understand, developed the examen so that the gifts of the 30-day exercises wouldn't be lost, but that they could continue to sort of be retained and developed. The Jesuit community that has really helped me, they're connected to Creighton University in Omaha. Mm-hmm. Of course, they practice the examen twice a day. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of folks find it beneficial to end their evening by sort of praying with memory. And so the examen isn't sort of a prayer of clearing my conscience, but it's a prayer of consciousness, recognizing the nearness of God in the ordinary, in the routine, in the mundane. And the examen sort of can be done with a journal, or you can spend 20 or 30 or 45 minutes just sort of evaluating your day, looking for these consolations and desolations, the times where we felt nearest to God and the times where we felt furthest from God. Or it can be sort of something that's very brief, sort of just reflecting back with a few sort of prayerful moments. But classically, there's sort of 5 movements to the examen, and so there's a recognition of God's nearness, there's a practice of gratitude, and then there is the searching for these consolations, these moments of feeling God, recognizing God, hearing from God. And it surprises people when they practice the examen where they meet God in their day, because it's sometimes like over a meal, or it's when they're walking across campus by themselves, or it's with a child. Or, it's just these weird spots where we usually don't have the eyes to see the divine in them. But when we pray with this kind of memory, and we're opening ourselves up to the possibility that God is always speaking to us, it's beautiful to hear these things that we've missed. And then you pray into your desolation, where we missed that, where we see habits or patterns forming in our life, where we're pushing or resisting God. In that 4th movement, then, after the consolations and desolations, we pray into a desolation. We pray for, if it's forgiveness or courage or resiliency, or hope. And then you close the examen with, and I sort of experience it as another wave of gratitude, that if we wake up tomorrow, there'll be new opportunities to experience God's nearness. There'll be new opportunities to practice gratitude. I think it's a very gentle practice. I think it's a very intuitive practice. And, it gives us sort of new ways of seeing. So there's a great article actually written by a Jesuit, his name is Dennis Ham, called Rummaging for God. And in the article, sort of, he sort of says that, at the end of the day, like you're leaving your office or wherever you may be working, and you look for your keys in your desk drawer and your purse, but you're not actually looking for your keys with your eyes. You're using your hand to sort of find them. You're rummaging around in there. And when you find them, because you know what they feel like. And I think that's the gift of the examen, that like we begin to have new ways of seeing things that we intuitively discover through the habitual practice, or developing the muscle memory of recognizing God. So I love the examen.
Yeah,